In addition to a border wall, President Trump also signed a directive that targets undocumented immigrants in the U.S. and some people trying to make their way into the country. For more on this, we turn to CBS News Justice reporter Paula Reid. Paula, can you lay out the specifics of the actions President Trump signed today?
Yeah, in the actions that he's taken today, he's trying to speed up deportations by giving the Department of Homeland Security additional resources. Now, among those resources, he wants to dramatically increase the number of boots on the ground, so the number of employees they have to actually execute these deportations. He also wants to increase the number of detention centers that they have, so when they arrest someone, they have a place to put them before they can be processed. And also, he wants to cut off federal funding to so-called sanctuary cities where local authorities have declined to actually implement federal immigration laws. Now, Elaine, several of those cities have already said that they intend to fight that provision in court.
Well, Paula, how does that policy differ from what's already in place at the Department of Homeland Security?
Yeah, it isn't really much of a policy change so much as it is an influx of resources and new tools. Now, all of these are subject to congressional appropriations. They need to get the money and the approval, but it's unclear, Elaine, whether or not this influx of resources will actually help them execute mass deportation without violating due process, because it's really the courts and the process before you deport someone that's really sort of the bottleneck. Of course, these resources will help, particularly the detention centers, but it may be much more difficult to actually deport as many people as they're trying to, even with all these resources.
And Paula, do we know how long it might take for these measures to go into effect?
Well, first they need to get the money from Congress, and then they'd have to hire all these people. Of course, there have been some limitations on federal hiring, so it could be a year, maybe more, before they actually get those boots on the ground and then can start going after individuals. They've said they want to prioritize those with criminal records. Then they're in the detention center, then there's the court. So, Elaine, before you'll actually see the numbers move on this, it could be years.
All right, Paula Reid in Washington for us. Paula, thank you.